It's the Graham Hausmann Bridge. Sounds really, really German. The most German sounding bridge I've ever heard about in Australia. Much better than any bridge in Bakersfield. Down that way is an entrance. I think you can park your car here. I've walked that trail over there in the past, but this is the first time I'm walking this trail up here. Oh, there's a trail here. That right there, it says crocodiles inhabit this area. Attacks may cause injury or death. Well, no shit. What's next? You're gonna tell us koalas shit in the fucking forest. Well, most of them, except the ones in captivity, they shit inside of a fucking enclosure. Well, what you're gonna tell us up next? Humans breathe oxygen. Well, yeah. But I know what I mean, there's a lot of tourists that are dumb, that might think that, oh, crocodiles aren't as dangerous as one might think. Because I've seen videos of people jumping into crocodile enclosures, and some people are just, you know, may come from a country where they don't really know much about crocodiles. They might be young people. They heard about them, but they don't really have, what do you call it? The common sense and the awareness of crocodiles. I, on the other hand, do, because I've been to Mexico. I traveled a lot in Quintana Roo, Jalisco, which has a crocodile population. Refuge Island. Interesting. This is the entrance to the Botanic Gardens, but I'm gonna go to a trail. I'm gonna make my way into the mountains, and if I get bitten by a snake, oh well. I'd rather get bitten by a brown snake than to live in America. America has just gotten too dangerous. It's much safer here in Australia. Because statistically speaking, I'll survive a brown snake attack. I'm kind of close to a hospital. Well, it turns out this here is not the trail. The trail is over there. I just came out here to the fucking rainforest. I'm gonna go on a trail. A new trail I haven't been on. If I get bitten by a snake, oh well. At least I'm having fun, and I'll have the bragging rights that I got bitten by a brown snake. This is the trail to the park. This is totally giving me Rainforest Cafe vibes. Welcome to Mount Whitfield Conservation Park. This totally reminds me of those Rainforest Cafe restaurants in California. I love them. But these are real trees. This is pretty cool. Actually, that's a trail over there. I was gonna go over there, but no, that's not over there. It's right here. I'm making my way onto the trail. They got water for people, it seems. Oh, this is pretty cool. I was just listening to the soundtrack of Danny Boyle's series Trust. Now, the series Trust has some really good musical composition, like tracks, but the show for the most part is yawn-inducing and boring, except for the scenes with the character John Paul Getty. I admire John Paul Getty. John Paul Getty is a fucking brilliant man, but obviously he did something wrong for all of his children to come out as messed up as he did. Like, even though, like, money is not enough for your kids not to come out all fucked up. Also, maybe it's because he fucked with girls who had the gene for, like, addiction and other shit. That also might have been a mistake, but some of his kids came out to be quite successful. The man who created Getty Images, you know, he was pretty intelligent. He had a film producer of a son. So some of his children came out very successful. One's a musician, but John Paul Getty viewed that as not being enough. He was one of the wealthiest men in the world. It was like this, just making like low budget Hollywood films or some shit like that was not enough for him. I think they were low budget Hollywood films. But eventually, some of his family now, like, they're very successful. Like the guy that made Getty Images, and he created that with I think Gavin Newsom or something like that. I'm not really sure, but yeah, this is pretty cool. It's weird how the mountainous areas here have fucking that color on the dirt. I just drank like fucking 3 Coca-Colas. I think 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3. I want to drink a 4th. I wonder how much caffeine is in all that. Probably like 150, 160. I wonder where's going to be the nearest restroom. If not, I'm going to have no choice but to. Never mind. Maybe I should come out here more often. Man. So I heard that the US Navy has lowered their testing standards. They're allowing applicants in with an ASVAB score of 10, meaning that people that are like in a room of 100 and 90 people scored higher than them, the person that scored in that percentile, that is in the bottom 10, can get in. But I assume they also have to be physically fit. They have to have a high school diploma at least. They still have to have a clean criminal record. Now, one of the reasons why a lot of people may not want to join the military is because they're not a fan of Biden. And in the military, Biden is basically your ultimate boss. And not just that, the benefits, man. In the military, you get, what, like $24,000 a year? Even me as a security guard in California, I was making like fucking way more than that. There was months where I was making as much as a sergeant as a entry-level security guard or an officer. There was literally months as a security guard, and with the side hustle, I was making as much money as an officer in the military. So how about pay more? Withdraw military bases in places you don't need them. Stop being a world police, and you have more money, and you may need less recruits, and you can be able to pay them more. I know this sounds radical and it might cost a lot, but if you cut expenses in the military, such as withdrawing troops from countries like maybe Italy and other countries, other bases, maybe Guam. If you pull out our military from Taiwan, we could possibly, or the Taiwanese waters, we could possibly pay the U.S. military members more. This is so peaceful. This is much better than Gotham City. I'm pretty far up. I got 1 kilometer left till I'm on the top. I think it's like 0.7 or 0.8 miles. There's this fucking bench right here. If it breaks, you fall on your ass faster than a fall bitch who smoked weed too fast. There's some place you can throw trash over there. I wonder how many people have, committed the act of coitus, fornication, copulating here. I wonder how many. Maybe will I commit that act before I leave Cairns? Probably, being the way I am. I'm on top of a mountain here in Cairns, Australia, overlooking the ocean. Parts of it are see-through. Sadly, there's crocs sometimes in there. This is very beautiful. This is much better than Bakersfield. I found wild turkeys. This is pretty cool. I've never seen wild turkeys ever before in my life. Never even thought I was ever going to see wild turkeys. Amazing. I've been walking for about an hour through this mountainous terrain on this track. This is amazing, man. Cairns, Australia is something else. It's like something straight out of Jurassic Park. I have a long way down to go. Much better. Much better than Darwin. Much better than Bakersfield. Recycling the rainforest. Tropical rainforests are extremely efficient, prolific land ecosystems, and the litter cycle is essential to maintenance balance. When the forest is constantly warm and humid, this litter cycle is rapid and efficient. So basically, here in the rainforest, if something dies, it's quickly recycled and consumed back into the ground by the trees, the insects, animals. It's pretty cool how the circle of life works here. It's beautiful, man. I can't believe I fucking live in the rainforested town of Cairns, man. Being in the rainforest is pretty cool. You guys should try it sometimes. Sometime, I mean. Estoy en el rainforest ahorita y tengo como 2 horas caminando. Es un trail por las montañas y se mira bien bonito. ¿Cómo se mira? Está más oscuro en persona y me gusta que está más oscuro. Se puede escuchar todos los insectos como el rainforest. Hay en estos árboles grandes aquí. Pero ya al último estuve aquí como cerca de aquí como hace 2 días, pero estaba tan oscuro. Pero no tenía esta track, es más seguro esta track porque el otro era como más tierra, mucho más tierra. Y se puede esconder las culebras más rápido. Más mejor, como se pueden camouflage más. Aquí es diferente porque obviamente le vas a mirar la culebra porque las culebras van a estar cafés. Normalmente están cafés, unas están negras, pero la más peligrosa que están aquí, en este lugar de Australia, es café. Se llama la brown snake, es la segunda culebra más venenosa del mundo. A wild turkey just feeding on the side of the road. They got wild turkeys in Australia. Here they have a free gallery. It's inside of a water tank apparently. It's in Cairns, Australia. It's a free thing to do, and on the internet, this isn't really spoken about. You can go on a trail here in the mountains, a free trail, and come here into this gallery. And then you can go to the Cairns Botanical Gardens and go through that trail. Then afterwards, go to this one restaurant, I think it's called Bob and Cox, where they sell fucking kangaroo steak. This is pretty cool. They have pictures that apparently were taken in and around Cairns in the waters. As you can tell, the Great Barrier Reef has lost a lot of color, but there's still some colorful things in the water. It's so humid right now. That's a pretty interesting gallery. I prefer seeing pictures than paintings. It's really interesting that they made a art museum out of pictures out of this water tank, which is pretty freaking interesting. It has a very chill vibe in there. I actually enjoyed that more than the Louvre Museum in Paris. I wonder if they have a toilet over there that I can use.